Hey there everybody, I want to show you this updated Coilgun single stage. I have a 350 microhenry coil. It's 5 centimeters long, consists of 16 gauge wire. I have no idea how many turns it is. It's wrapped around a ballpoint pen with the ends cut off. I'm using a pretty hefty Thyristor, which is you can see it right there. It's got some tape wrapped around it. That's the that's the 70 RIA 120, which can handle a good number of amps. And the gate of that's connected to a 47 ohm resistor, and then I can intermittently connect that to a 9-volt battery to momentarily trigger the gate. And the capacitors are a whole bunch of 450 volt capacitors. Each one is 470 microfarads, and I've got like 10 of them connected together in parallel. And I've got a voltage doubler also connected in for a total of about 5,000 microfarads. I'm using thick wire because of the high currents involved. And eventually this whole thing is going to get boxed up, so there'll be no live components exposed. And this is the firing end. I have a magnet, it's like a ceramic magnet right there, and that holds the projectile, which is just basically a nail that's cut. You can try different lengths. I've got all different kinds of lengths. You can see some of them there, and these you can experiment to see which one gives you the best velocity, exiting velocity. You have to be real careful with a setup like this that you're not standing behind it, just in case the projectile was wrongly positioned and came back at you instead. So you don't want to stand behind these things until you've worked out how they're going to work. I've got a metal can full of water there, and we're going to shoot that can with this. I've got on my voltage doubler 334 volts in those capacitors. So we're about ready to stop and fire this thing. Some pretty good velocity on this thing. Even though it's just a single stage, you can go right through metal. Let's try it with wood. So just to finalize, I plan now to finish this thing by putting either a piece of wood or polycarbonate plastic right here behind this, just in case it flies backwards. Maybe adding some crude sights to it for aiming purposes, covering up all these high voltage, high current wires, covering up all of this, and then instead of doing that to trigger it, I plan to put a on-off switch. Actually, it's just an on switch, temporary on switch, which you just push down. It's like a car horn or something like that type of switch to trigger the gate on the Thyristor just momentarily, to get it to break down and allow the current to flow through it. But anyway, thanks for watching this, and I will show you another video of this thing when it's fully completed, but I just wanted you to see some of the components before I close it all up. Thanks for watching, everybody.